You know, I have a lot of listeners in Nairobi, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, huge in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Since you're a pastor, though, there's a few things I want to make sure that we can or can't talk about.
Okay.
So what I want to do is I'll just name some stuff.
Okay.
And then you give me a thumbs up, meaning that yes, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Or thumbs down, meaning I do want to talk about it.
Okay.
Like it's okay to talk about.
Okay, that makes no sense because usually it's thumbs up. I do want to talk about it.
No, but I was trying to think of it from your perspective.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
It's called I don't want to talk about this.
Okay, I like this game.
Divorce. You can talk about it?
Yeah, I can talk about that.
Israel.
I don't want to talk about Israel.
Being a girl dad.
Is
that thumbs up? I don't know what that is.
That's thumbs down.
Okay. Did you know this is not thumbs down?
Wait. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So divorce is like this. Israel, thumbs up.
Yeah. Israel. Let's stay away from that. I'm not educated enough to talk
okay.
about that.
All right. Well, that's the podcast.
At least it'll be a good story.
It'd be funny if you were like, I don't want to talk about anything.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about a lot of things. I just don't know what we can talk. I mean, there is a story behind everything, right?
I want to say that when I was thinking, now that I'm 36.
Wait, you're 36?
I just turned 36.
Jeez.
I'm old. I think that you probably are one of the most influential people in my life.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Oh, thanks.
And I always think about just, all the crazy memories that we've had together. And, I think that the cool thing that just, as I was reflecting on this, like what I wanted to talk about, I think that you, at some point, like you stopped you were no longer my youth pastor.
Yeah.
You were my friend.
Yeah.
And like now you're my friend, but like also all of us, I mean, most of us that were in that youth group that were like part of that friend group.
Yeah.
We're friends.
We're friends.
And like, I love that about us. And I think that is I think that we have to attribute that to you and the way that you built the Cedar Run Youth Program.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, again, you've become one of my good friends as well. Again, sometimes I'm like, does Peter only like me because we go out to sushi and I pay for sushi all the time?
No.
but then I realized that other people would go, like I'd offer free food to them too, and
they say no.
They say no. So Peter actually must like hanging out with me.
Oh yeah, I love hanging out with you.
But it's one of those things where, again, I think we were all centered around something unique. And we all legitimately enjoyed each other's company.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed hanging out with each other. And somewhere along the line, you guys didn't become my students. You became friends of mine.
Yeah, and I mean, that's special. But what do you think it was? I don't know. I know that you're not really in youth ministry anymore, but you're still in family ministry and ministry in general. But anything, like as a leader, how do you think that you got such a solid group of people? Like, did you have a blueprint? Did you have like an idea? Were you just kind of just like trusting in the Lord? Like, what was it?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I think there was a lot of different components, and I've thought about this before too, because that, like, when I stopped doing youth ministry, I reflected a lot on my life and my time there, and I was like, what was it about? Like, I did youth ministry before I came to Cedar Run. I did youth ministry after Cedar Run. But it was that core group of people that we just really enjoyed each other's company, and we could be real and relational. But also there was that spiritual component of it where we talked about God. And you guys were actually interested in God and wanted to become better people, mm-hmm. and I felt like in my history growing up, I was modeled this kind of relationship too, because I still have a really good relationship with my youth pastor, who was my youth pastor, and I just thought, like, he just cared about me.
Yeah. And
what I wanted to do is I legitimately cared about you. Like, even when you ticked me off, because there were times when you were in high school that you kind of ticked me off. But it was like I legitimately cared about you, and I was like, I want the best for you.
Yeah.
And out of that, I think you guys, I'm a goofy guy. I don't think there's anything special about me. I'm not overly good looking. I got stuff all over my face.
You're a Leesburg 8.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. But I just feel like I legitimately cared about you guys, and you guys legitimately cared about each other, and you guys liked me. So.
Oh yeah, we loved you. Can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
And then you can tell me if you want to like elaborate on this story or not.
Okay.
But you're a youth pastor, right? Or you've had experience in youth pastor in the past.
26 years.
26 years?
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I was like really obsessed with Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And there's this episode of Seinfeld called The Marine Biologist. And
I like that episode.
yeah, Kramer hits balls into the ocean. It's a great episode.
Yeah.
And my youth group, we were going to go on a trip somewhere. And I had a youth pastor. He said, well, what if we hit balls into the ocean, into the bay? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we were like, where will we get golf balls from? And we did some brainstorming, me and this guy. And stop laughing. It's not funny. We found this driving range that was going out of business.
It was going out of business. Yeah.
Oh, you know this story?
I do know this story.
Okay.
It needed to refresh my memory a little bit, but I do know this story a little bit.
Okay, yeah. There's a driving range very close to our house that was going out of business.
I worked there after I graduated college.
Really?
Yeah, for 3 months.
Did you get fired?
No, I just left.
Oh. You didn't give it 2 weeks?
No, I just
Do you have to give 2 weeks at driving ranges? That's a question I've always wondered.
I don't think so. I think you can just be done.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we went to this driving range. We climbed the fence. We weren't sure how many balls there'd be, but we filled up a few backpacks full of balls. And then we hit them into the bay.
Yeah.
You know this story?
This story is, I mean, again, the cobwebs are being cleared away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great youth pastor.
Wasn't the guy's initials MS?
The other guy with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I don't know if he does. I wonder if he remembers that.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure he still has the golf balls in his like backpack somewhere.
Do you remember when you used to come over to my house and skip school?
Yeah.
And do your parents know that?
I don't think they know how much I did it, which wasn't that much.
It wasn't that much, but there was a few times that you guys came over.
Yeah, like Wednesday, I didn't want to go to chemistry at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I think that too is that there was a seriousness going back to like me ticking you off. Also, by the way, I wasn't part of the Boston trip. I wasn't part of any of the bad things.
Yeah, but you did. You were part of Ocean City.
Yeah, but I wasn't in trouble on that.
You weren't in trouble. That's right. Except
for when I got my ear pierced.
Exactly. Except for when you got your ear pierced.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was bad.
Hey guys, don't go and do anything too crazy. Where's Peter? Oh, I don't know. And then all of a sudden you come back with your ear pierced, which was again your parents. Like, I don't know what. Did you undo it when, like.
No, I got in trouble, like, right away.
Okay.
I think my little sister was like, yeah, Peter got his ear pierced.
Okay. Yeah. I think the thing with that is, like, we cared about each other. We had each other's back. And we liked a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of fun. And truthfully, I think we were willing to do stupid things. Again, you talked about the golf ball stuff, but like stuff. Remember when you made was it the iPod commercial?
Yeah.
The iPod like 80 or something like that. Yeah. That was when iPods were hot.
Yeah. I think the iPod Shuffle had like just come out. We were giving it away at a pool party or something. And so that was the things that we would be like, well, this obviously needs a video, like to promote anything. And we would spend like 40 hours on like a series to like lead up a game where people are, it's like, how many marshmallows can you fit in your mouth? But we loved it. I mean, yeah, the aPod.
That's right, the aPod.
The aPod. Me and Eric Meyer. Shout out Eric Meyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the Microsoft. It was like, I'm a Mac, I'm a PC commercial.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is that what got you in the video, making videos and stuff?
I have no idea, actually.
You don't have any idea why you wanted to do videos?
I think that part of it was that like I liked to make people laugh. And I think that video was a form that you could like make the most people laugh.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you don't need to just be in the room. You can be like, oh, you can watch this forever and ever and people will laugh at it. But I would say that it wasn't really until I went to that Young Life camp. I was an video intern at Castaway, where I was actually like making the videos, like shooting and editing, that I was like, okay, actually, I like this. When you met me in 6th grade, I remember the first time I went over to your house, it was the Friday after 9/11. Oh, by the way, can we talk about 9/11?
We can talk about it. Yes, we can talk about 9/11.
Because you were the new youth pastor at our church.
Yeah, it was.
And you had just gotten married.
Yeah, so that was 01.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was when I was living in the townhouse. You and your curly blonde hair, right?
Something like that. I have pretty curly hair.
Yeah, you had like really. Do you miss having really curly hair?
Kind of. Although it does my hair's crazy. I don't know what happens with my hair. Some days it's like.
Sometimes when you grow it out, it gets the curly,
waves.
You know. So
yeah, but that's the first memory that I have going over to your house.
I first remember you. My first memory of you is at Church of the Epiphany. And so I remember you and Claire because Katie was in the youth program and your parents were the game people. Like, so when I came to Church of the Epiphany as the junior high intern, which I made only $10,000 for,
nice.
Yeah, they paid really well back then, but it was part-time, but still $10,000. Yeah. And, I remember again, Katie was part of the group. And then you and Claire were kind of just tag-alongs with your mom and your dad because they were the really cool game people.
Parents were?
Yeah, they always came up with the best games. So I just gave them the game stuff, and they were so fun and so funny. I think that Church of Epiphany group, because we had Katie, we had...
Katie's my older sister.
Yeah, Katie. Have you had her on the podcast yet?
No, I need to get her on.
You should probably have. You had Claire.
Yeah.
I mean, so, and then we had Alex Pino.
Great guy. I need to get him on the podcast.
We gotta get your podcast will explode if you get Pino.
I don't know if it would ever end. As soon as we hit record, Pino, it would just go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good youth group.
Yeah, we had such a great group of people, but your parents were like the ringleaders of this cool game group. And then you were there with your curly hair and you would always just tag along and we're like, we can't wait for you to be a part of the youth group.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Pretty much. Yeah. And then I remember, because one thing that you always did too was that you had great ideas. Oh. Like the late night, all night extravaganza and late night. Didn't you get in trouble for that?
I think we got in trouble for the all night extravaganza. So we just called it late night extravaganza.
Yeah. We'd go to like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
But we'd do like cosmic bowling, watch a movie, go play broom ball at Reston. What else was there?
Yeah, I can't remember.
What would you say what would you say was like, oh, that did not necessarily with me, but like any time in any ministry capacity where you're like this, I thought this would be a really good idea, but it was a terrible idea.
I really think, to be honest, the all night, like we tried to do an all night extravaganza on New Year's Eve at the place I'm at now at the End Zone in Chantilly. And we partnered together with McLean Bible Church. And I was like, this is going to be amazing. And we got John Mark McMillan as the featured singer.
Okay, I was filming that.
Okay, were you filming?
I also had to pick up John Mark McMillan in my van.
You did? In your van?
Yeah.
I bet that would be awesome.
I was like 20 or 21. Was this like 2010, 2011, somewhere in there?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
And he was pretty popular.
Yeah.
But he was such a mellow guy
for a New Year's Eve party.
And I was like, this is going to be awesome. We've got a featured singer. He's going to be great. And
he
then
sings How He Loves Us. And you're like, wow, yeah, weeping worship.
Yes.
Bring in the new year.
When I was at Truro Church, before I came to Church of the Epiphany, this was back in like 99, 90, actually maybe 98 or something like that. We brought in another singer band. They were a Christian band, Poets. I can't remember their name, but we thought it was going to be amazing. I think like 20 people came.
Really?
And they were on Christian radio and everything like that. Like 20 people came. It was such a terrible thing. So anytime I've ever tried to bring in big name artists, it's just never worked out. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah, I remember for some reason I had to drive John Mark McMillan from a hotel at Fast Food Central over to the end zone. It was either before or after. But yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they just don't pan out the way you think it's going to pan out.
What do you think has been like a really good experience where you're like, oh man, I want to try that again?
I will say this. I will say I've had hit or misses with mission trips, but I do believe mission trips are life-changing. And I always look back on that and say, I wish I could do another one. I wish I had to, like, I legitimately would love to do that. I'm not in that position right now to do a trip, but I love when we go out, and it can be in domestically or it could be international. It doesn't need to be international to be impactful, but those mission trips are really life-changing.
Yeah.
So,
like the Boston one.
The Boston one. But here's the deal with the Boston one. We always joke around with the Boston one.
That's the one thing that I have like FOMO on. Because you guys all joke about it as if I was there. And you're like, oh, remember in Boston? I'm like, I wasn't there.
See, the Boston trip, it was my first trip with Cedar Run. I just got hired to replace the other guy.
Yeah.
I needed to bond with those guys. Like, they were going to be my crew going forward. And we bonded in such a way, and in some really bad ways too. Things I would not recommend youth ministers to do, but the reality was that we bonded in such a way that it springboarded us to, I think, we've got to be a part of this youth group, you know?
Yeah.
And then it started the cycle of, we started getting more people. Again, you guys came in.
Well, yeah, that's on. I mean, I didn't know about the Boston trip, obviously, but I saw like what you guys were doing. I forget who it was. Maybe Pino or someone was involved.
Yep. And
I was just like, man, I gotta go. That's where I want to go to church.
Yeah.
And as a 14-year-old boy or 13-year-old boy, however I was, to be like, I want to go to church. My mom says this all the time. It's like, you're not gonna tell them no. Like, yeah, that's probably where we're gonna go to church.
Yeah.
If like that's where our kids want to go, like, and I think that is so. I mean, I have a youth ministry degree, but like having a youth program that gets youth fired up to be at church, like that's so important for churches.
Yeah, I mean, you
were good at it.
Oh, thanks. I think again, kids crave authenticity, but they also want to be a part of something that's exciting. And again, I think that some of the things that we did at Cedar Run were just really, really exciting. Like, you never knew what you were going to get every Sunday. You could be out and you'd come in your, like, you know, swim trunks out, you know, or something like that. Or somebody's going to do this. There's going to be some crazy eating contest that we're going to do. But people had this, like, what's going to happen next?
You didn't want to miss it, yeah.
Yeah. And so.
That's so true. And I missed Boston.
But
can you tell the Boston story, or do you don't want to tell people?
Yeah, I mean, well, again, it was one of those trips that I didn't know anybody going in, and it was, you know, we drove up there. I had this other leader with me. Her name was Sue Masters, and Sue Masters was a great person. She became a really good friend of mine, but she actually literally hated me
because of this trip.
Because of this trip. And I had to talk with her afterwards. But she became one of my most trusted people at church at that time afterwards. But we went up there and we were doing different serving opportunities. Like one day we went to an Alzheimer's unit and we would go serve them. And the one thing I remember about this one lady, she always kept coming up to us and said, my dad told us many things, but he said, you don't have to like everybody, but you have to be nice. And she would always point at me, you have to be nice. And she told me that story probably 15 times.
She had Alzheimer's?
And she had Alzheimer's,
yeah. Wow.
And so, we'd serve an Alzheimer's unit, or we would serve this other community. So we went into different places, but everywhere we went into, we made it a point, because we were in Boston and we're from Northern Virginia. We made a point of our rally cry is 703. Every time we'd go in there, we'd chant 703, 703, 703, and everyone was like, and every other group hated us because we did 703, you know.
Yeah.
But we had just different people do different things. Like, we had this guy named Joel Hansen and Brad Schoolfield. They were two like really good buddies. They were really into Metallica and like hard rock stuff. And it was right when the iPod.
It was kind of like, they were kind of like Beavis and Butthead at that time.
Very well. Yes, they were very Beavis and Butthead type
And Brad's still a great friend.
Yes. So Joel had an iPod, but he wanted to get speakers for it. So when we got to Boston, he went to some random convenience store, grabbed speakers, and every night we would play Metallica in the halls of the while everyone was trying
the
to
Alzheimer's place.
No. When everyone was trying to sleep at the church that we were at, and so they didn't really like us very much. But Joel had long hair and he looked very Metallic-y at that time. And so we just random things like that. Joel would say something to the leader that was just clearly not appropriate, and not one of our leaders, but one of the things.
Someone else.
Yeah, and so, but one of the big thing that gets talked about a lot. Can I name names here? I've already.
I mean, it's up to that. It's up to you.
Okay, I mean, I can name names. I just hope they're not mad at me. But they won't be mad at me. But there are two brothers there that you're related to these days. So Phil was great. He was older. TJ was younger. And TJ was always getting in trouble. But I always said this, and I've said this to them before. I think Phil was just as bad as TJ. Phil just never did it. He just told TJ to do it. Like, so whatever Phil wanted to do, TJ would do it.
It was Phil's idea, but TJ's courage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And TJ's fearless.
So we were leaving that night, the last day, and Phil or TJ and this guy Elliot, they had bought some flour and they wanted to flour some of the kids at some point, and so they bought like 3 different flour bundles, that you would get at the store, all-purpose flour, and they're like, Tom, we never floured anybody. Can we do it? I'm like, no, we're not going to do it. And they're like, no, can we get? I'm like, fine, you can flour them, but this is what we're going to do. We'll pack up like we're leaving. We'll leave, but you guys will get out acting like you forgot something. Yeah. So then we'll come around to the other side of the church, and you guys come and run out, and we'll leave. But then we'll be done with it. And so we did that. And all of a sudden, we're waiting there. We're waiting. And Phil comes out. TJ comes out, running, like booking out. And then Elliot's not out yet. Yeah. And we're like, what in the world is happening? And then all of a sudden, Elliot storms out. And it's like, go, go, go. We go. And this is 2003. Cell phones are not like iPhones. There were no iPhones at that time, so you had a random flip phone. I get a phone call from the main person, and they're like, "Hey, you got to come back. You left a kid here." And I'm like, "Oh, what kid was it?" Because I knew that they were going to do something crazy. And they're like, "What kid was it?" I think we got everyone. They're like, "You got Elliot. You left Elliot here." And I just looked over my right shoulder, and Elliot was in my car. Yeah. And so I was like, "Oh, we're not." Okay, I was like, okay, we'll turn around right now. And we just never, and I never answered the phone call again for them. But what they done, Phil, TJ, and Elliot, and there may have been another person in there too, but those were the 3 main guys. They went into, stormed this group from Minnesota. And this group was bothering us the entire time. We were having this little rivalry. And they went and just floured their whole room. In fact, someone tried to stop Phil, and Phil like jammed them up on the door with the flour and then just ran out. But we made our getaway. We made our dash out. They were really mad because I guess the group from Minnesota was also going to New York City.
They had flour.
And they had flour all over it, ruined their trip. And so you feel bad, but those guys were like so jazzed up afterwards, and everyone's like, I can't believe we did that. I can't believe that happened. They tried to get me fired, actually, the group. They called our church afterwards and tried to get me fired, saying that this Tom Pounder is a terrible person.
And Tyler stood up for you, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Tyler was the other person involved in it, because for the longest time, his parents didn't know that he was a part of that. Oh. And so But yeah, they all stood up for me and said, no, we got to have them. And so,
Yeah, I know, because you like win with a story like that, like especially you win them over right away.
yeah, we blurred the boundary lines a lot of times with what to do, what not to do.
Yeah.
And so I always felt like I don't want to know anything you guys are doing. Like, again, we got in trouble one time with fireworks. I had no idea that people were going to
I was actually there for that.
Yeah.
That was right down the street.
Few people had fireworks and lit the fireworks
In a corn maze.
In a corn maze with a lot of other people there.
Yeah.
And we had to get out of there quickly.
I didn't light them, but I knew about it.
I didn't know about it, and I was actually really annoyed with that because that could have been really dangerous. But I was like, can we not get kicked out of someplace? Can we not get kicked out of someplace?
Yeah, we called those the people that ran it were the corn cops. We kept calling them the corn cops. We had to run from them.
You have to juggle a lot of different dynamics when you're working with teens.
How did you, going back to that, like, I don't want to know what you're doing type thing. How did you and blurring the lines? Was there like a rule that you had, or like something set in stone, or you're just kind of like?
Yeah, I didn't want there to be anything inappropriate, but it was something in regards to, I don't want to destroy property. I don't want anything, but if it's in real fun, I think, okay, flowering someone, that's kind of fun. I mean, you're just flowering,
It's harmless.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the worst case is that they have to like vacuum up flour.
Exactly. Or wash your clothes or something like that.
Yeah.
So
obviously you've had how long have you been in ministry? 26 years?
Longer. Since 1997, so like almost 30 years now.
How old are you? 35?
How old am I?
Yeah.
I'm 51.
Oh, okay. Wow. So you've done ministry for your whole career.
Yeah.
You always knew that you wanted to do that?
When I went on a mission trip, I talked about how I think mission trips are important. I went on a mission trip before my senior year in high school.
To where?
We went to Alabama. And so we worked with we were in an Episcopal church. We worked with a Baptist church to build a barn for their church, but they actually had a house for abused and abandoned teenage girls. And so they had a great house, but they had barnyard animals, and so they wanted a barn. And so we went there to build a barn in a little nature trail around their small little pond. And so we went to do that. I had no idea why I went there, because I had not been involved with my youth group before. My mom signed my twin brother and I up, and we were playing American Legion baseball over the summer. I wasn't really playing, and I was like, okay, I'll go to this trip. My brother did not go.
Because he was playing baseball?
He wanted to play baseball. And I actually felt like
He went on to play for the Twins, right?
He wishes, but no, he did not. But this is actually the time, I think, where my twin brother and I kind of separated and pursued different things. Up until this point, we had pursued basically the same things. But
yeah.
I went on this trip, and it changed my life, because I discovered that serving other people and serving God, I equated it the same, because we were there for a church thing.
Yeah.
So I was serving these people, but I was serving God. And I was like, if this gives me the fulfillment I want, that I'm experiencing right now, I don't want to do anything else. I want to just pursue God. I didn't know I wanted to do ministry at that point, but I knew I wanted to pursue God with all my heart. So when I came back, I got involved with the Bible study. I started reading the Bible every day, started memorizing scripture. We had this little packet called the TMS. The Navigators used it, but it's a great, I memorized 60 Bible verses my senior year in high school. And I still remember, I would say, a good amount of them to this day. But when I went off to college, I wanted to be a computer major. And I went off to college, and I wasn't smart enough to be a computer major. I love computers.
What even is a computer major?
It was computer manager. It was like computer programming.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so I just wasn't. I was getting the programming languages okay, but not great. And it was there, like, I discovered, I'm in the wrong field. I'm at the wrong college. I need to transfer. And
What college was that?
It was Mercyhurst College in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you went there.
Yeah, it snowed on Halloween, and it snowed. Like, it was like over 1.5 feet of snow. snowed on Halloween, and Lake Erie was still semi-frozen when I left on May 15th.
Holy cow.
My parents would send me on the Greyhound bus from Washington, D.C. all the way up to Erie.
Is the Greyhound bus kind of sketchy?
Very sketchy, dude. I mean,
I feel like you could live on a Greyhound bus if you wanted to.
dude, it seemed like there were some people. There were guys doing exercises on the
I
Greyhound.
thought you were
bus.
about to say ecstasy.
Well, there were people brushing their teeth on there.
Yeah.
I actually met a cute girl there
On the Greyhound?
Yeah, on the Greyhound from Pittsburgh to Erie.
Did you get her number? Her Snapchat?
No, that was well before that. But it was when I transferred from Mercyhurst to Messiah College. Now it's called Messiah University, but it's always Messiah College. That I realized that reading the Bible and studying the Bible, actually, I was like, I really like this.
Yeah.
And so I decided to do that.
So that way, wait, sorry, you had already transferred to Messiah at that point?
I kind of was feeling, I was like, maybe I should look into ministry. And so that's why I transferred to Messiah. But then once I got there, I got involved with the Young Life group there. And Rich Dargenio was the area director. And he was awesome.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I want to be like Rich. And I want to be a Young Life leader.
If you could have a podcast about your life and like a serial, like maybe it's centered around a tragedy or a crime that you did or didn't commit, what would you want it to be about? Give me a plot.
That's a good question. I would say maybe my divorce.
Your divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so much that was not said in that, and it doesn't have to always be said, but there was so much that I kept to myself that I think would be interesting to share over the course. Because here's the deal with my divorce.
Pastors don't get divorced.
Yeah. And there's that thought of like, how am I such a failure? I'm a divorced pastor.
Or a trailblazer. It depends how you look at it.
I don't want to be a trailblazer. I had 4 young daughters there that I actually raised by myself for a whole year. Mm-hmm. Of course, with some help of other people, but also the simple fact of over time, I actually have a really good relationship with my ex-wife now.
Oh, wow.
To the point where, like...
You guys are getting back together?
No.
Oh.
But
what if you hard launch on the podcast?
No. Hey, she's behind door number 2 right there. Come on down.
Shout out, Ann.
Yeah. But we co-parent very well. And I think that doesn't happen a lot with divorces. And people say to me all the time that, like, I can't believe you have that kind of relationship with your ex, especially with all that happened over the years. And I'm like, it's God's goodness, it's God's forgiveness, it's God's grace and love that I'm able to do it, because in my own heart, I can't do that.
Yeah. But
God gave me the ability to love her in a different way. I don't romantically love her, but I love her and care for her in a different way, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that you guys were cordial and stuff, but...
Yeah. I mean, we do Thanksgiving together.
Yeah,
we do
holidays
Christmas together. I mean, we do birthdays together. And a lot of families can't do that. And I think, again, I looked at it in particular for my daughters.
Yeah.
What am I modeling to my girls? What kind of example am I giving to them about their future? Because they may go through something like this.
A divorce?
Yeah, or something, you know. They may experience some hardships in their
It sounded
life.
like you're about to be like, because my daughters, they'll be divorced someday.
Maybe. I hope not. You
Yeah.
know, one's married now, and so I hope not.
No, that is cool. I didn't. What did the church think about that? I mean, I know that your church was on your side, but were there people in the church who were like, "Oh, pastor, you shouldn't be getting divorced"?
Yeah. So again,
besides me,
some people within the church that didn't know things and kind of were like living in their own little world of what was actually happening, and they were upset with the simple fact that I was getting divorced and I was a pastor. I was the family pastor at New Life and whatnot, and that shouldn't happen. But then I had a few trusted people that I would share. It's trusted people, including my senior pastor and 2 other guys that I would give the insight on. And they weren't pushing me, but they just wanted to be in the know of some things. And they had my back on these things, and they knew what was happening. And one of the things I learned over the span of that divorce too is that this leading up to the separation and the divorce is that, I just blatantly trusted people that weren't really looking out for my best interests. They were some of them were looking out just to gossip about it, and some were looking out for other things. And I realized that I can't trust everybody. I'm a very trusting person.
Yeah.
But I realized I just can't trust. And I shared things I probably shouldn't have shared with some people. And I learned some lessons on that. But again, there was a little bit of tension because, again, ministers shouldn't get divorced. But
if you like have beef with someone, what you can do is you say their name, and then I'll bring up their LinkedIn profile, and I'll read where they work, okay, just so people can know them. Good idea.
Yeah, it was a great learning experience for me. But I never felt like when I went through the divorce was like, God, why is this happening to me? I always thought, God, what are you trying to teach me? What can I learn from it? And how can I grow?
What did you learn from it?
I learned how to be a better... my goal was I wanted to become a better husband for my next spouse, which I'm not married right now. But I wanted to be a better son to my parents. I wanted to be a better brother to my brothers. And I realized that I'd become so consumed with my own little world that I wasn't involved with my family at all. And it strengthened my family bonds because I actively sought after to be with my brothers and their families. And we grew a tremendous bond over that time that still is today. And again, I became so selfish and so self-centered. I didn't want to be me focused. I wanted to be others focused.
Yeah. I wouldn't call you selfish, but I didn't. You were my youth pastor. Well, kind of my youth pastor then. I think I was in college.
You were in college at that time, I think. Yeah.
You're still very close with your brothers? You have 4 brothers, right?
I have 4 brothers. I have 3 other brothers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
1 of 4 boys.
Yeah, and to be honest, both my parents have now passed away, and it was actually this past year. My father passed away, and it was very unexpected. When my mom passed away, she had cancer, and she had cancer for about 3 years, and we knew she was getting ready to pass. My dad, it was a complete shock.
Yeah.
And what that actually did was that even actually brought my brothers and I way more closer together. That we've never been this close because we have a shared tragedy, and we spent so much time together. It was great. We would go up, and my parents live in Gettysburg, and we would have to go clean out the house. And I mean, the house was in pretty orderly shape, but cleaning out a house, is pretty rough. So we would go up there on the weekends, and we would go out, have drinks, have food. As we were cleaning up the house, we would share memories, and as we were looking through things, we'd share about this or that, and it just brought us so much closer together. And I wish my dad was still around. I wish my mom was still around. But my dad passing brought us really close together, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
So, I've never been this close to my brothers than I have today.
That's cool.
Got me tearing up a little bit.
Dude, they'll do that to you.
This is you're such an emotional podcast host.
This is like the Call Your Daddy of youth pastor podcasts.
Do many of your listeners are they ministry people?
Nah, I have no idea, honestly. I think that most people are believers.
We should do like a poll. Can you do an interactive poll?
Yeah.
Are you in ministry? If you're
are you in ministry? After this, it's just going to be like people like youth ministers in Nairobi. Yeah. Like obviously, when you feel called to go in a direction in ministry and stuff like that, you probably didn't know, or maybe you did, that you'd have the career that you have up to this point, right? How do you think it's changed over the years? Just like church in general, or culture, or ministry in general. I mean, I know you've had different facets from like at one point you were youth, now you're online, digital, family. But like what's changed and what hasn't changed?
I think the thing that I think people tend to forget about is it's about relationships. As a minister, it's about your relationship with the Lord. You got to have a strong relationship with the Lord, but then it's about relationship with other people. And because again, people will forget about. I've forgotten a lot of stuff that we've done and did in ministry, but I'll remember the people, and I remember their faces, and I remember those experiences. So I think people tend, when they're getting into ministry now, they think it's about making the best sermon, or they think about making the best event, and they forget about the relational aspect of it. And it's that relational aspect. Again, you guys wanted to come back at Cedar Run because of the crazy things we were doing, but you guys actually built strong friendships and strong bonds with each other to where you guys are still friends right now. I mean, and that was like over 15, 16 years ago. And
longer than that. It was like 22 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long time ago. I mean, I'm so old. I forget. But I think
our friendship could order a beer at like
that's true.
Ruby Tuesdays if it wanted to.
But people think it's about the event or the experience that they have, the smoke machines at church or the hip cool music. It's not about that. It's about the connection. It's about the relationships. They're not going to come back if they don't have a meaningful connection.
I talked about this on the podcast before, but I'm a strong believer in like shared experiences are the best way to like fast track any type of relationship or any type of connection. And it's like you could be in a car like an Uber with a stranger and you get robbed, and that person next to you that you didn't know is probably going to be like your best friend because you have that shared experience from there on out, and you could, oh yeah, we were robbed at gunpoint or whatever. Not that hasn't happened. Has that happened to you?
No, it has not happened to me.
Very specific example. But yeah, you were so good at, Cedar Run in general, at creating those shared experiences and just forming that connection. Like basically right away.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of it was that you fostered or you created environments where we were consistently around each other. Yeah. Like we would have small group, we would have youth group, we'd have something on Sunday nights usually. There'd usually be one event a month. Is that what you wanted to do? Was that like kind of the plan? Was that kind of your vision behind it?
Yeah, for sure. And again, I think one of the things that bothers me now about youth ministry that I see sometimes is that they're not creating those experiences. I agree with you. Shared experiences are amazing. Some of the greatest times that we had with my leaders, I actually think, was that we did this thing called the fifth quarter. Do you remember the fifth quarter?
Yeah.
So high school football is really big in Northern Virginia, and not as big as Texas, but it's an important thing. And so we wanted somewhere for kids to, football games are over at 9:30 or something like that. We wanted a place for people to come and hang out, so they didn't have to go to parties and they didn't have to go or feel like they needed to go, but a safe place that they could go and have fun and have food. So we would do something until like 11:30 or something like that. But then afterwards, the leaders and I, we would wrap everything up, kick you guys all out. The leaders and I would go into the gazebo by the church next to us and just like hang out and talk forever. And we would drink beer and all that kind of stuff too.
On the other church's property?
Yeah, on the other church's property. But again, and then the trips that I did with leaders to the Sims Lake House, Shady Side.
Yeah.
Those were great experiences that we got to have fun together and have those shared experiences.
That lake is called the Chesapeake Bay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. It's a pretty big one.
It's the big one in the area.
It's a big lake that's attached to the ocean. That's part of the ocean.
But we wanted to create things that you guys would want to come back to, and we would always be adjusting things.
Yeah.
Changing names of things, changing things.
Powerhouse.
Yeah,
that was.
Did you guys really, when we came out with Powerhouse and that was the name of that, did you this is a stupid name? Did you guys really think that?
No, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like what? Who would want to go to something called Powerhouse?
Yeah. We created something called Turning Point one time or Grounded. We just come up with all sorts of names.
I think you called something Dive and Deeper.
Here's the one cool thing I'll say about ministry, too, is that while I was really interested in technology and computer stuff, but then I didn't have the skill set, the brains to really pull it off. I will say, when I got to New Life and they offered me a position to work with online ministry, I was like, this is what God gave me. I love technology and stuff.
Right.
It was 10 years later, 20 years later, before I actually got to experience online ministry or use this passion for computers. And it's really kind of cool to see how God will use a passion of yours. And maybe it doesn't happen right now.
Yeah.
But maybe 10 years down the road, God uses that for some good purpose.
Yeah, that is true, because you were always youth pastor.
Yep.
And then when you went to New Life, you were still kind of involved in youth. I don't think by choice.
No.
But you wanted to eventually be more of that online presence.
Yeah.
So that, I guess you've always had that desire to like kind of figure out that marketing side of things.
Yeah. And it wasn't something that I forced. It was just something that kind of dropped in our lap, because the church, while I liked it and I did like blogging and I was on Twitter all the time and stuff, like our church was gifted a live streaming set from another company. And they're like, here, can you use this? And we're like, yeah, we can live stream church.
And that was like before everybody was live streaming.
It
Right?
was 2014.
Yeah.
So
what has there ever been anything that you've like tweeted from a church account that you shouldn't have tweeted from a church account?
I have tweeted from a church account, a personal thing, but
it wasn't like too bad.
It wasn't too bad. No.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that would.
I think
you always hear about those situations.
Yeah, I think every social media manager has had that experience.
Like worried about like, oh, I shouldn't have posted that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to switch accounts. Yeah, sometimes I'll be, because I also have access to our church's account for because my wife, what she does there. But I like will sometimes like things, and I'll still be in that account. I'll be like, well, no, wrong, and I'll usually catch it right away, which is
that is the one thing I've liked things before from the church account. I'm like, oh wait, I gotta unlike that thing, kind of deal.
They're like, why is New Life Church liking Betty Crocker's pancake recipe?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think that you'll stay in your role? I mean, obviously you're like, do you like what you do?
I like what I do.
But you've always kind of had this like draw towards marketing, right?
Yeah, but I'm not a marketer by trade. I just kind of learned everything by reading blogs or listening to podcasts. Social media marketing.
Do you ever go on those podcasts?
No, I'm not invited. I've been on church-related social media podcasts before.
Who's the church guy? Kerry Newhaw?
Kerry Newhaw. He's more of a leadership guy.
Do you think he'll come on this podcast?
Dude, you should ask him to come on this podcast.
I've never actually listened to a podcast, but everything that I've watched that he's involved in, I'm like, oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Him and that Brady, there's another young guy.
Shearer.
Brady Shearer.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, Brady's good.
I think he's Canadian. Is he Canadian?
Brady?
Yeah, is he? Or,
I don't know.
For some reason, I think he's Canadian.
Hey, Brady, if you're listening, I'm going to put another poll. Are you Canadian?
Brady's got great stuff.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that people have started in churches specifically figured out ways to, like, some of it's cheesy and terrible.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this, you don't need to put this on the internet. Like, the internet's forever. You can't take things back.
No.
But like Brady, there's a lot of people that are using their giftings and like have a full understanding of like what culture is doing or like what society is doing, and then they're able to like intertwine the church and what the church should be doing.
Yeah.
Whereas like beforehand, Christian marketing was like, I'm going to wear a Reese's shirt, but instead of Reese's, it's going to say Jesus. People are good. They're doing a fresh job with it.
One of the things COVID taught us was that people crave authenticity on social media. I think before, this was especially true in churches. They all felt like, and this was true for us, that in order to put something out on YouTube or on the web in some way, it had to be highly produced, highly marketed, smoke machines, this different angle. You have to have 5 different camera angles, tons of B-roll footage and all that stuff. And what COVID had was we had a bunch of people going viral because they were just sitting on their couch in the dark, looking at their phone, talking to people about real life.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's what people craved. And from there, I've encouraged churches to say, you don't have to have it highly produced.
No.
You just have to get started and sharing. People want to hear stories and they want to hear about life change,
Yeah.
So,
No, yeah, that's a great point. I feel like TikTok, I mean, COVID definitely did it, but like
yes.
the growth of TikTok too, where everybody, I mean, that to an extent though, the camera on the iPhone and like smartphone cameras are now like decent.
Yeah.
They're now way better than they used to be, probably like before 2020.
Yeah.
But yeah, that highly produced aspect. And even just like churches today where they'll have like a 21-foot crane or a sliding jib shot the entire time on like an electric guitar.
Yeah.
I'm like, this isn't Kansas live at like the TD Garden.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to have this type of production level.
No.
It's distracting.
It's completely distracting, and truthfully, when you have it something so highly produced, again, even when you look at stage design stuff,
It doesn't feel authentic.
it doesn't feel authentic.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you got the smoke. We've had the same stage design for the past 10 years at our church, and we're getting rid of it. And I'm trying to tell them, just simplify things.
You should make it like the Price is Right stage design. Like get the wheel.
The wheel? Okay.
Yeah, get the microphone.
Yep.
You have to have the long, skinny microphone.
Yeah, okay.
People will be like, what are those little like podiums there for?
Yeah.
They're like the contestants.
Yeah.
They're like, what contestants? They're like, shh, you'll see. Just keep people guessing the whole time.
Well, we had these guys come up with this idea. Instead, we used to have 3 projection screens, so people could see from different angles.
Yeah.
Instead, they had the one, which I think is a good idea, just the one screen. But then they put these 2 things on the side, one on each side, that look like the Madonna comb bra.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it looks so weird, and they serve no purpose. However, it cost us so much to get them up, and they were so heavy, they don't want to bring them down. I'm like, we look like idiots. We look like Madonna's breasts right there. I mean, so it's like crazy.
Did you say that out loud?
I did. I have said that to
And
them.
what did they say?
They're just like, oh, okay.
They weren't like weirded out that you were talking about Madonna's breasts?
No, they weren't weird.
As a pastor?
They just have come to expect that I'm going to say crazy stuff like that,
Okay.
or stuff like that.
So is that no longer there?
No, it's still there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The goal is to change it by the end of this year.
Okay.
We still got like 7 more months. I'm like, I hope we get that off. I mean, they've been there for 10 years, dude. It's way time for that to come down.
What's a story that you tell people about me?
About you?
Yeah.
Well, the earring is definitely one of the things I tell
But that's not a good thing.
But it's kind of, it's fun. I like telling about you, about the earring. I like telling you how you would come over to my house to
watch like SNL on DVD.
Yes, on DVD or Lost episodes.
That's true.
You know and then I like to talk about how we have sushi, and you're like my sushi buddy.
I do remember one time you and I was probably like a sophomore in high school, and we were talking about The Office and how much I liked The Office, and it had just got started, and I invited you over to watch it.
Did I go?
Yeah, you came over. It was like 9:00 on a Thursday. And my mom was in the room with us. I mean, this just shows how good of a youth leader you were. My mom was in the room with us, and like the whole episode, I don't even know what episode it was, but they were talking about Dwight's penis.
Oh my gosh.
It's the most uncomfortable thing. My mom's like on her computer sending emails. It's just like a really like awkward episode.
Gosh.
And you and I don't know if we're like, well, it's supposed to be laughing or not. Yeah, I do remember that. That just randomly popped in my head. But yeah, Lost.
Yep, Lost. I like to tell people how you would basically do anything. You would essentially do anything.
Who do you think was more? I mean, TJ was actually more fearless.
Yeah, I think TJ. When we used to, my parents had a condo in Arlington, and occasionally we would go over there. I'd grab some guys, and we'd go up to the rooftop and have dinner up there. And there was one time we went up to the rooftop one time, and it just snowed, and so it was kind of icy on the edges of it.
Yeah.
One time, I mean, this building's like 20 stories high.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He walked on the ledge by the ice, and I literally almost had a heart attack thinking he's gonna fall off
And die. The fact that TJ is still with us is insane.
It is 100%.
Because there's this similar story that I remember one time him hanging off the top guardrail of the carousel.
Hotel?
Yeah. When we were staying at the top floor.
I had no idea he ever did that.
Yeah, it was insane.
Dude,
They'd be like, just like, it's like, this is so funny, guys.
Yeah.
Like, TJ, man, what a guy.
Yeah.
That's another thing is that another thing about our youth group was that we had very insane, like you allowed things, as you said, but also like we weren't the ones that like wanted to go camping. Like we were the ones that wanted to do the most insane things. Like, and I mean, camping can be insane, but
yeah.
It's crazy that we're all still here.
And again, I will say that I've met with the senior pastor at Cedar Run a number of times since I left there, and he said that still that time period that we were all there represents that golden era of youth ministry. They've never been able to find a youth minister or a youth ministry group that was ever able to replicate what we did. We literally wanted to take on the McLean Bibles of the world, the Vienna Prezes of the world.
Yeah.
We had this craziness that was just infectious.
I mean, and for a church that only had 300 people, to have like 300 kids coming, to that fifth quarter event or whatever it was, 200, 300 kids, like that's insane.
It was completely insane.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, it provided a safe place for kids to come on a Friday night when otherwise they might be getting in trouble. They'd get in trouble at the church. And
what type of trouble would they get in on Friday nights? Do kids get into
sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
Yeah.
After a big football win or football loss.
Kids don't listen to rock and roll anymore, though.
So, it's too bad.
It's Tupac. If you could go back to a time in ministry, would you think you'd go back to that? Like,
yeah. Oh hell yeah. Yes. I would 100% go back to that. Those are great times. One is the end of the.
Even though your marriage was falling apart.
Well, my marriage didn't fall apart until so I was at Cedar Run from 2003 to 2010, and things didn't start falling apart until 2008, 2009. So, but from 2003 on, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when you guys would come over to my house and watch DirecTV football all the time?
Yeah.
Pissed off my neighbors like crazy because of all the kids coming over. I'm like, it's a great place for kids to be. But at that time, they
were probably such boomers.
They were boomers.
Do you want to say their names out loud just so they can?
I can't quite remember the one person's name. He moved away. But yeah, I would go back to that time because then maybe some things I could have made some changes that may have happened with when I was married. So,
as a young professional, a Christian young professional, let's say they're 22 years old, they don't know if they want to go into ministry or not go into ministry. What would you say to them?
Everyone has a ministry. Okay, you don't have to be a paid professional to be a minister. But if you are thinking about, hey, this is something I'm passionate about, this is something I love to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like the patent answer, but pray about it, because here's why. So I wanted to do ministry, but I wanted to do high school ministry. When I graduated college, I wanted to do high school ministry. The guy I wanted to work for offered me a junior high ministry position. And I'm like, I do not want to do junior high. No way am I doing junior high. I do not. And I was looking at other places, but I prayed about it. And I said, God, I need you to guide me here. Is this what you want me to do? I never felt more at peace with that decision to do junior high ministry than I did at that point. And that changed my life. I love working with junior high kids. They're insane, but I think that's partly gave me the edge when I got at Cedar Run, because I'd been working with junior high kids my entire life, and I loved working. That was where God needed me to be. And so the reality is, if you're thinking,
and that's where you met Pino, and
that's where I met Pino.
All these key kids that ended up growing up with you and then volunteering for you.
And then, yeah, exactly right. I mean, so that's where we met Scooter. We didn't even really talk about Scooter.
Oh, dang.
I mean, the reality is it's through that junior high stuff that God changed my life. And so if someone's thinking about doing ministry, one is you have a ministry. You have a circle of influence that God can use you to share the hope of Jesus with wherever you're at. But the other thing is, if you're thinking about professional vocational ministry, really pray about it and see where God opens up that doors, because that might be exactly where you need to be, even though where you don't think you want to be at that moment.
That's really good.
Thanks.
Everybody is in ministry.
Everyone does.
Everybody who is a follower of Christ
Exactly right.
is in ministry. And if you think about it, whatever you believe, you're ministering to or for something.
Yeah.
Like I could believe that Christopher Nolan's the best director of all time, and every time I talk about it,
Yeah. Yeah, you love Christopher Nolan. You're the biggest Christopher Nolan.
I love Christopher Nolan so much.
I've
never watched a Christopher Nolan movie and been like, wow, that was good. I'd love to watch that again.
I still can't believe you don't like Inception.
It sucks.
I love Inception.
Inception is so stupid.
It's greatest movie. Who's gonna go bald first, you or Phil?
Here's the thing: is I think that my hairline is gonna stop where my dad's hairline is. So I don't think I'm ever gonna be bald.
Yeah.
We know that Phil's dad is bald.
Yes. I think yours is gonna be done. You're gonna have hair.
I think it'll be thin,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's gonna be.
But Lou's always got some hair. So
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna fly to Turkey.
Okay.
Just get the transplant. It's cheaper over there.
That's good. But I think you look good with it, especially when you.
I think you look good bald.
So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, nobody looks good with thinning hair though.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, wow, your thin hair looks so good on you.
My dad tried to do a comb over, and it was just really bad.
Was your dad bald?
No, he had really, really thin hair, but there was one time when he was still working, he dyed his hair, and he did the comb over. It was, I mean, it was. So
you have a great head of hair.
I know, it's funny. My dad and my older brother are like the baldy guys.
Do you ever use Just for Men?
No,
It seems like they need a new name.
I did dye my hair once.
What color?
But more of a brown, just a regular brown.
Why'd you do that?
I can't remember why I did that. I just wanted to try it out, I think.
You just wanted brown hair?
Yeah. And I had brown hair.
Oh, okay.
So it was like weird.
I thought, okay.
So it was like, I had it and it was like, okay, it's brown.
I might bleach my hair.
Oh,
Go back to those blonde curls you were talking about.
Yes.
At least it'll be a good story, you know?
Yeah, it would be a good story.
That's the name of the podcast. So,
I like the name of this podcast.
did you like the podcast?
I like the podcast.
Was it fun?
It was great.
Was it what you thought it'd be?
I had no idea what it was going to be.
I honestly had no idea what it was going to be either.
And it's clear by some of the questions you asked me. But I told you I wanted to come on, and so I'm here.
I appreciate you doing it. We should have you back on with Scooter.
I think that would be great.
At least it'll be a good story.
Do you think Scooter would ever show up, though?
He'd show up late, but he'd show up.